Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B here at noon Eastern, 11 Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific with my guest always on Fridays, BStrilla to Thrilla from One Ass Cheek and Three Toes.
What's going on?
Well, we picked up our last
one more week left.
We picked up our last practice squad player last night, Andre Carter II, who came out of Army. And Bill T's already in. Holy God, hey guys, holy fuck! The Packers fan case are going wild. Thinks they could take the division from the Lions. I know it is what it is, but I will say what I will commend them on. The one thing they did not address in free agency and in the draft was that they needed a better pass rush. We've heard it from lots of Packers guys. Well, they addressed it. The problem is, the one thing he struggles against, they traded away their best defender at it, and that's run defense. So I'm not saying it's going to make the difference on whether they get the division or not, but it should help them with pressure as long as nobody runs at them. Because we saw last year, you run at him, he's ineffective.
Yeah.
But did they give up too much? Yeah, I know, because that $34.5 million dead cap from trading Kenny Clark leaves them with $1.4 million this year. They don't even have that much. If they have major injuries, they're in trouble for trying to sign somebody.
It's next year they're going to be negative $44 million in cap.
Right?
Because you know why? Jordan's contract is going to take effect then too.
Right.
Loves.
First year.
Yeah.
And the Packers still need cornerbacks. And that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. You had the development of Trayvon Diggs where he actually started to look like he was getting it and being a better coverage guy. And their rookie that they had opposite him developed into being a good CB2. And if you've got good coverage, that helps your pass rush. And vice versa. If you got a good pass rush, it helps a weak secondary. We know this. But you can't have it both. We've seen what happens when it's both. Steve Bauer hops in. Yes, how you doing, Steve? Eric Whitson gives us a go, Lions.
All right, Eric. What's going on, brother?
So, Andre Carter II, 6'5", or 6'6", excuse me, and 256 pounds out of Army. Didn't they get rid of their best guy, too? They waived him that they talked about, Kalen King. Didn't they waive him? And he got picked up by somebody, if I remember right.
Yeah, they waived a couple of guys that they should have. They waived Ballantyne, too, which I thought was a bad mistake. They shouldn't. Their cornerbacks are abysmal. They might have good safeties. And I heard Green Bay fans just, well, we got safeties. Yeah, but you need corners, too, bro.
Wait, last year, didn't they pick on us because we had great safeties and bad corners?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do the pot calling the kettle black thing.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was a good trade yesterday until I seen the Packers have no cornerbacks. Yes, Robbie DeFeo. I thought my thing is they were good against the run last year with Kenny Clark.
7th. They were 7th against the run.
Yeah.
You can kind of switch They were 15th against the pass and 7th against the rush. So this year they'll probably switch that number. They might be 7th against the pass and 15th against the rush. They're still going to allow. I mean, that was the thing that snake bit them a lot last year against teams that could run the ball. Let's say the Lions,
the Vikings, the Bears in week 18.
Run the ball on them, and that's with their best. That's what their best pass run stopper that was there.
Right. So, and we've seen it, and I've mentioned this before. I've mentioned it even before he got into the division. Here you go. Micah Parsons disappears after Thanksgiving every year. His production drops to less than 10% of what it was through the rest of the season. So when it comes down to January, when it counts, you know what he's had in his 3 playoff games he's played? 1 sack, 4 tackles.
Mm-hmm. Then you got to remember he was injured 4 games last year.
Mm-hmm. He got injured at the beginning of that game after he did get his sack, didn't he, versus Detroit?
He didn't play in the Detroit game.
Oh, he didn't play in it at all. Okay. It was the year before when we should have won that he was in and couldn't stop us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in that one. Yeah. I mean, the Green Bay could be a very good – I mean, it moves them to me. That trade moves them from 3rd to 2nd in the division.
I agree.
I still don't see them winning that division because the Lions they still got the same players they had last year. They got one of the 2 dominant running back duos of the league right now. I mean, if you can't stop the run, you can come at Goff all you want, but you got to go against Penei Sewell and Decker. So, I mean, unless you're going to move Micah around and move him to defensive tackle and have him rush from that point, that's the only way I can see you're going to be effective. And Rashawn Gary, let's face it. I love him because he's from Michigan, but other than that, that dude hasn't done anything since he got his contract with them.
Oh, nobody's crying here, John. Nobody.
Yeah, I don't know who you think is crying, bro.
8 sacks over an entire season. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Lions.
Fools Gold Packers.
And if he gets hurt, Green Bay is fucked.
Yeah.
So I expect restructures galore next year for Green Bay. Good luck with that. Everybody thinks it's weak.
What's that?
Everybody thinks our offensive line is weak for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Won games last year without Ragnow in the lineup when Glasgow was at center because Mahogany helped Taylor Decker do good in those games.
You know, Green Bay fans are going to come out here and try to.
Oh yeah.
They think they won the Super Bowl already. They sound like the Cowboys right now.
Nobody's saying that the Cowboys didn't win crap with him in a better roster. Somehow he tipped the scales for a worse team. Cheese logic. Good morning, Yoli.
Hey, Yoli.
Oh, Packers versus Cowboys, September 28th. Oh, that's gonna be.
I think the thing that's funny about it, I'm not saying actually Green Bay is the better team than Dallas right now because Dallas is kind of regrouping. I don't know about offensively, but defensively they are. It's just that, dude, you kind of just switched with Dallas. In fact, if you listen to what Jerry Jones was saying last night in his presser, he said it makes the team better because they can stop the run, which is pretty prominent in their division. and they got to deal with Saquon Barkley. And last year, they were people just run all over them. The Lions did it to them. They were running all over them. So it's, they got to stop the run. They got pretty decent pass rushers. They were 17th in against the pass last year. So with Micah Parsons, they still weren't the best team. You know what I'm saying?
Good to see you, Yoli. This is for you. Yeah. Let's see who put the like in. Probably Dave Eastman. Chada Ortega's out there on Facebook giving the like today.
All right.
Cowboys, a shit show and a dumpster fire, tanking for next year draft and a shot at Arch Manning. I think he stays in, but you never know.
Even if he does stay in, I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be vying for him anyway. And let me tell you something. If it's a team like New Orleans or Indianapolis right now that want that Manning guy, I don't think two first-round picks are going to do it for him. I think they want that guy, and it depends on how Archie does this season. If he does really well this season, yeah. But nobody's going to take 2 first-round picks from Jerry. It's, most of the league's tired of Jerry's shit anyway.
Oh, his tackle rate against the run is 35%. Absolutely, which is what I was talking about. He is a liability versus the run. Wow. I'm hoping he gets signs by the end of the weekend. So he's back at camp on Monday to be ready for the week. If Cleveland gets the first pick, Archie is definitely staying in college.
Let's see.
Watch Gary screw up. Yeah, that's true. It's not hard. It's not hard to screw up the draft in the first round. It's only a 38% hit rate.
Right. That's true.
Question
so
Micah
Micah Parsons is a 91.6 on PFF against a pass rush rate, which is legitimate. That dude's awesome. He's one of the best, if not the best, at doing that. Run defense grade, though, 65.5. That tells you everything you need to know right there. Just saying.
Question for you, sir.
Happened disappointed in Brand Holmes and Ryan's playing. I mean, that's not the Lions' way anyway. They're not going to be trading 2 first-round picks for somebody. No. And they got to pay him. You see how much money Green Bay is going to be fucked next year. They're going to be fucked. They got a negative $44 million cap hit they're going to have. So they're going to be messed up. And of course, they're going to be chiming in about, oh, yeah, we got to win the Super Bowl. You got to win the Super Bowl because you ain't going to be able to do it next year.
And I'll repeat it again, Paul Jones. From opening day to Thanksgiving, he's a sack machine. He gets 90% of his sacks in that time. He only gets 10% after Thanksgiving. And he's been hurt a lot.
23. He had 14 sacks last year. 5 assists, 26, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, let me tell you something. I'm not going to disregard Micah Parsons. I think he's going to be a problem for the Lions. Even with Penei Sewell, because Penei Sewell is getting beat by Hutchinson, and Hutchinson's like playing like a scary dude right now, at least in practice and in training camp. So, I mean, and Mike is about on that level, if not above that level. So we got to remember that.
Yep. Is Hutch going to want more? We don't know what Hutch wants. If he gets more, he gets more. It's up to if they think the roster and the salary cap will hold it. It's all up to Brad Holmes and Matt Dunstall. And whatever they do, I trust them because they've been working wonders with this cap so far. Okay. Who's crying now?
Hutch had 7.5 sacks by the time he got hurt, which led everybody in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, John, you can stop that right there. If he had not broke his leg like he did,
he had the highest.
he would have been.
They said he had a 22% higher pressure rate than anybody else within those 7 games too.
Mm-hmm. I think the closest person to him was like 20-something% away from him.
If they're playing in an NFL game as a starter, they're not a backup.
Yeah, Paul, that's true.
It's overrated.
Okay. John, keep crying.
Ralph Williams had a great prediction on Ken and Ken. He said that Pickens was a cancer in Pittsburgh, and now he's on Dallas. Michael was a cancer in Dallas. That's not true, because he said all season he was willing to play without a contract, all off season. So I'm not calling Micah a cancer there, because I didn't see that anywhere in there. Uh, 9.5 is a part of 10 sacks, is it not?
And that's 3 years he's played.
BStrilla?
Yeah, you can go either way with it. Yeah. Yeah, John just tries to get a rise out of people. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah, I know.
The deficiencies of his team is going to rear up sometime.
Here's what I got to say. Dallas was 26th against the run last year with Parsons. You put Kenny Clark in the middle to stop that sieve, because that's where everybody ran on him, because they didn't have any dump. They had Mozzie Smith, who looked like a shell of what he was at Michigan at stopping the run.
Yeah, they shouldn't draft Michigan players anymore.
I know. Taco Charlton.
Yeah.
Who was
Jordan Lewis.
Jordan Lewis. Yep.
Jordan Lewis was probably the best player they had of those 3.
Yeah, and he ended up just being a nickelback, right?
A slot. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said he was a cancer, and I was refuting that.
No, Micah Parsons as a person, he's a good guy. As a player, he's a tremendous pass rusher. I mean, you got to call it what it is, man. He's had like 13 or 14 sacks per season since he's been in the league. The dude is awesome. But
what up, Ken?
But as far as stopping the run, he's just not that person.
He's not good at it.
Mm-mm. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, if you want to add to your team, be a pass rusher. And that's probably what Green Bay had, because like they said, they only had 45 sacks last year. That was like mid.
So what's going on, Ken?
No, I just wanted to listen in, got done with the morning show, and B, I agree with you, what you just said. I look at Packer fans, you gotta give Packer fans credit. They've changed their organization over the last 2 years. Right, they went and spent big money in free agency last year. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round this year, and then this is probably the biggest trade they've pulled in 3 decades, easily. You know, give them credit, but it makes their pass rush better. I don't know if it improves or worsens their run defense at all, because some will say that Parsons actually did better on the run last year than the piece they gave back to Dallas. But it took an already very super competitive division and just made it a super competitive division. And it puts more emphasis now on Jordan Love earning that contract this year than it did prior to this trade. So now there can't be an excuse of, well, the defense gave up points, this, that, or the other. They addressed the rush issue. It made them a better football team for this year, for sure.
Okay, I got to address this.
Yeah,
it was a $15 million raise he got, not a $15 million contract. Everybody only sees the $15 million and thinks that's it. He was already making almost $18 million. They gave him 15 more. He's making $33 million this year for 1 year, and then he'll be a free agent next year.
Yeah. So, and you know what? The Lions, I think, are now. I mean, look, the NFC North is an arms race. It's been an arms race. People people have not been realizing what kind of arms race has been happening in the North, outside the North. We noticed because we're in the North, but it's an arms race. And Green Bay went from probably having the least talented roster to a very talented roster. I don't know where they now sit in the North in terms of overall talent, but that number went way up yesterday, right? Or went up yesterday because there isn't much way when there's only 4 teams. I think that for next year with Hendrickson, with the amount of money you guys have, I look at if this works for Green Bay, I think Chicago and Detroit both look at Trey Hendrickson next year and go, maybe a 2-year deal for this guy isn't a bad idea, and we can spend some money. Because the entire NFC North is in a Super Bowl window right now. It's not just the Lions are in a Super Bowl window. It's not what the Packers are now because they're all in for this year, because next year they only have 37 players signed under contract, and they're negative $6 million right now after Micah Parsons.
No, it got updated again. It's negative $44 million next year.
Yep, negative $44 million next year.
Spotrac about 10 minutes ago didn't have it. That's what I was looking at.
Go to over the cap. They updated.
Love is getting Love is getting paid next year too. Remember that.
Wait, I'm on over the cap. They don't have it yet. Let me refresh it. Maybe it just updated because I was at over cap. I'm on over the cap right now. They have them for this year. They have 1.4 million in cap this year. For next year, it still shows them as having 29.4 million, but Micah's not on the roster here. Yeah. They do have the Kenny Clark dead cap money, but they don't have that updated. But either way, with him, they'll have 38 players on the roster, and they'll be negative, probably negative a bit, and they still have guys to sign. So they're all in. I get it. But all 4 teams in this division are in a window of in a Super Bowl window. So this is a rarity that you have an entire division in a Super Bowl window. And all 4 teams have, at some level, a legitimate argument to say why they're in that window to make a Super Bowl run. What this does, it pushes the Packers try to push themselves to the front and go all in to win it this year and force the Lions and the Bears and the Vikings to do something that we might regret.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that nobody's talking about. This year's cap room is 1.4 million now.
Right. They have no room for anything.
No room for injury signings. All they can get is what we had to do at the end of the season because we had so many people on the IR. Bring in practice squad guys at league minimums.
Well, that's mostly true, JB. Ken, the Packer fan, pointed this out after the show to me, and I looked it up real quick. This is of course over the cap. If they want, let's say that happened, they need to free up some money. Maybe they could do a restructure on Rashawn Gary and save $8 million, almost $9 million. They could do a restructure on Aaron Banks and save almost $11 million. They could do a restructure on Jordan Love and save 7.7. So if they have to, they could do some restructures and free up some money. But just the way it sits right now, they could basically pick up a bottom of the barrel league minimum guy to replace someone if they had to, and that's about it.
But the only thing that I am looking at is over his career, the 4 years he's been with Dallas, how many playoff wins have Dallas won with him?
Yeah, but part of that.
No. Listen, but no. How many sacks has he had in those 4 playoffs?
Well, I agree with that. But I mean, I get the argument. It's not wrong, but I also hate these arguments because it is a team sport.
I understand, but here's my thing. If you have 90% of your production between opening day and Thanksgiving and less than 10% those last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
You have less than 10% of your production. Your tackles go down, your sacks go down, and your pressure rate goes down, and then you disappear in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about.
And look at JB. This trade doesn't guarantee that. I mean, Packer fans think the division's theirs now, and the odds makers have made them the favorites. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. But honestly, in my view, this is still anyone's division to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you've got 4 really good defenses in the North, and now Green Bay can be added to that more legitimately than they were before, I think. You've got 4 really good offenses in the North.
I want to push back on this one a little bit, Fred. They did have an issue at defensive end. They had nobody other than Rashawn Gary, and Rashawn Gary has not been able to stay on the field as often as they like.
Well,
So,
and Packer fans were even saying, like Bears fans, where we need to improve the edge. They were Packer fans have been clamoring for a better for more pressure on the quarterback. So they did do that today or yesterday.
yep, there we go. I love this because he pushed back on what Ken the Packer fan said to you. You know, Dorn says that we can't restructure Goff, so how are they going to restructure anybody? It's not allowed.
And Mitch, you know I love you, man. But when it comes to you and Dorn trash talking back and forth, okay, fine. But I just looked it up and got the actual numbers off.
I'm just playing.
I know they can, Mitch. Mitch, they can, just like you can. And that's the thing, though. And the other thing I brought up in the morning show, and Mike the Bear fan, he's railing in the House Hall back chat on this. He's like, let's see how much of this contract actually shows up in the cap number. Because in the NFL, a dollar spent is not a dollar spent against the cap. And he's been railing on this for years. It's nothing that he's like all of a sudden just now having an epiphany. He's been saying this for like 4 years. Like the cap system isn't true because of the $50 million a year he's going to get, like half of that will show up on the cap. And you're like, how's that possible? So, I mean, there are ways that all our teams play with the cap. And I think like the Lions have shown great fiscal responsibility. The Bears have, Ryan Poles, say what you will, but very good fiscal responsibility overall. And Quezzy just works magic. And thank you, Mitch.
Okay. Fred, they already extended him. They gave him 4 years and 180 some odd million with 136 guarantee. Yeah, 188. What is it? Like 43 a year or something, or 47 a year?
It's like almost what 90% guaranteed or something like that contract.
Is 136 million guaranteed, which is like over 70%.
Yeah. Big swing for Green Bay. Give them credit because they don't normally
I'm giving them credit. I gave them credit. They needed a pass rush. They addressed the one thing they did not do in free agency in the draft. It's the one thing we knocked them all off season for. So they did it, but they sacrificed their best run stuffer.
They did. And now, well, Ken said last year's numbers, Parsons actually had a better run stop number than what they gave up, but he said it was very small. So I'm like, okay, even if you say that's a wash, dude, I already know week one the Lions are going to run all over them. That's all you're going to bring out Gibbs, you're going to bring out Monty. And that's why I told Ken after the show, I said, look, it's great you got the pass rusher, but even Caleb can get the ball out in 2.2 seconds, and he's shown through stretches last year he could do it. Yeah, he still does hold the ball too long. Goff can get rid of the ball quickly. And yeah, sometimes he holds the ball too long. Every quarterback does that, right? It's not a unique argument to any quarterback. But so within this league, when these guys are getting rid of it in 2.2 seconds, and now they establish a run on you, now it's play action. They're still going to pass on you effectively, even with Micah Parsons. So I mean, it's a great trade for them. It makes teams adjust. If you were thinking you're going to just throw on the Packers, no, you now have to run on the Packers. Detroit's like, great, hold my beer because we were going to do that anyways.
I mean, we ran.
I think every team in the NFC, any team in the NFC North is going to do that. I mean, every team in the NFC North is capable of running. Minnesota's got Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we had. But
no,
I'm gonna push back because they're going into a little bit of cap hell where they're going to be behind, and yes, they can save money and all that. So each year that they extend that and push it out, guess what? The cap hill comes up the next year, and then it comes up the next year, and then eventually it snowballs. You know what this reminds me of? When you're talking about going into cap hell with a little bit of cap space hurt.
Yeah, you ready? Khalil Mack trade 2018. That's what it reminds me of.
Let's go back to 2005. The New Orleans Saints that are still feeling cap hell in 2025, 20 years later.
And I made the comparison with the Khalil Mack trade. This is like the Khalil Mack trade for the Bears in 18. And yeah, we won the division. We were one and done. But it took Ryan Poles, a couple years to clear out all that cap hell. And the Bears are finally – that you realize that the Bears have the lowest dead cap number in the NFL this year at $5 million? I mean, that blew my mind. I mean, so Poles, look at the Bears, the Lions, and I'll give Quezzy credit because he keeps finding ways. But you look at Chicago and Detroit, the way the rosters are built and the cap is done, They're built for longer term success. And then after that, I would say the Vikings, just because Quezzy does weird things, and for the Packers, this is going to be uncharted territory.
John, you don't even make no sense. Lions are not going to in the same boat as Green Bay right now in cap hell. Come on, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm saying they're no. I'm saying
Dorn said it.
No, he's talking about Dorn.
Yeah, I just put the comment up a little bit ago.
Yeah,
but anyways, let's move forward because the trade right now, for me, Green Bay needed pass rush. Dallas needed run stopping. It's a wash until you see what happens with the picks.
Exactly.
You know what though? Initial, that's the correct take, probably, JB. But I'll say initial gut reaction is Green Bay wins the trade today. But let's see what happens in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think it's a wash right now because of how bad their run defense was. Dallas had the 26th run defense with Parsons, who only has a 35.5% success rate versus the run.
Right.
So you take your best run defender statistically, and I'm not talking about just last year. I'm talking about in his career with Green Bay. And you took him and put him on a team that did not have a run stopper.
Yeah, but Micah Parsons is more dynamic than Kenny Clark is.
I understand that, but at the same time, Kenny Clark looked like the all-pro he was every time he played Detroit.
That's true. I mean, still,
you get him out of the middle of that lineup. I'm not scared to run up the middle anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not going to try to rein. I'm going to let Green Bay have their parade today.
And I gave him credit for getting their pass rusher. That's what I gave him credit for.
Week 1's gonna be fun. I can't wait to watch you guys play them now, even more so. And look at though. Let me say this though too for Lions fans.
Oh yeah.
As a guy who's going to watch that game as a fan of neither team, if you guys win, you should talk trash to Green Bay. But if you win and Micah Parsons isn't like world beat or whatever, I don't expect him to be phenomenal by week 1 to play you guys either. It's going to take them a couple weeks to fully integrate them into their systems and everything. And the early buy now benefits them. So the second meeting is more going to be that measuring stick. And unfortunately for me, I get him like at weeks 11 and 13. So by that time, he'll be fully integrated, but then injuries will probably play a toll on both rosters. But, you know, in the first couple of weeks, like, so Lions fans, I guess what I'm saying is if you beat the Packers, I wouldn't run around saying, oh, Micah Parsons is a bum because he didn't do anything. No, it's going to take them a couple of weeks to fully integrate him. So they kind of, in a weird way, though, too, because of that, they've hurt themselves in the very, very short term, as in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But they probably helped themselves in the long term, meaning the 17 games of the season.
If a Packer fan tells me no FTPs, you know I'm putting one on the
screen. Oh, yeah, there's going to be an FTP.
You know, the thing I think that's pretty ironic about this trade is that Green Bay, remember, went into Dallas in a playoff game and just absolutely whooped him. And you know one of the reasons why they whooped him? They ran. And they ran right at Micah. Micah kind of folded in that game. But, I mean, a lot of Dallas players folded in that game, to tell you the truth. But, I mean – and then you get you know that he's not capable of being the best run stopper, but I guess your overall thought is, well, we need a pass rusher. We only had 45 sacks last year. Let us get a pass rusher, maybe improve upon that. But dude, you're in a division that the running start. The Detroit's got probably one of the most dynamic duo running backs in the league right now. Granted, we have issues on the offensive line. Well, I don't think issues, but I want to see how it develops. The interior line's got to really impress me because I'm safe with the tackles. Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker are doing their thing, but the interior line, Glasgow being the center.
I loved it when Doran goes, Decker gave up 8 sacks last year. Divide that by 17.
Yeah,
I mean, 8 sacks is a lot to give.
That is a lot, though.
But it's less than a half a sack a game, is what I'm saying. That's what I was getting at.
I mean, but in the overall of it, JB, he did give up a lot of sacks. 8 sacks is a lot. Penei Sewell, I think he gave up what, 1? Yeah, he gave up 1 the whole season.
I mean, it does make us have to play the Packers different now because their pass rush has greatly improved. But I think for you guys, you guys feel the least impact because you do have the best running duo in the NFL. I think, and really Minnesota's running duo got better with their addition. And look, I think we can finally put to bed that Ben Johnson does not like DeAndre Swift after comments he's been making. He loves DeAndre Swift, right? He loves him. Where the Bears are short is I don't know who that second guy in the duo is for my team yet. There's some candidates who want to have their hat in there, but yeah.
That's the best take I've seen from a Packer fan yet. To me, all this does make the division and the season more exciting and fun and interesting, bar none. Amen. I'll agree with that.
Amen. This is gonna be a hell of a
100%.
season. It already was going to be a hell of a season. Now, I mean, I don't know if it makes it any more of a hell of a season than it was already going to be, but I mean, like I said, I think for you guys, it almost this trade changes nothing for the way you guys attack them. It really does.
And here's what I got to say: we're 6 days away.
What a great meme that meme maker made.
Yeah, good job, Ken.
I need to start making more NFL memes. I've been slacking. Sorry, boys.
The Lions did add a defensive end / linebacker to their practice squad yesterday. Did you hear about that, Ken, the Bear fan, or did you just know about the trade?
It was hard to kind of wade through all the trade stuff, but I did see the minor move made, but I didn't really clock it.
It's Andre Carter, the UDFA that played in one game for the Vikings 2 years ago as a UDFA rookie. He had 3 tackles and a half sack in that game. So as a rotational linebacker that got to play in a game because of whether injury or somebody was tired, you can't complain about him. You know what I mean? It's somebody that adds depth. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't know if speaking, I know this isn't a Bears show, but the Bears actually made my predicament that I had with the Bears was when we picked guys off the waivers, right? We got rid of Duvernay and we got rid of our long snapper, Scott Daly, right? We had no long snapper on the roster. Well, yesterday they signed those guys back because they got rid of a guy, which I didn't care about. But Booker, the defensive end that we've been hyping up, hopefully takes a step, is on the IR. We won't see him now till week 6. So both our teams kind of made some good moves that were needed yesterday. Green Bay, life goes on outside of you guys for the Lions and the Bears.
David Barnett, Demont's a little stronger and can shrug off a weak tackler better, but Gibbs is so elusive that if he makes Parsons miss, because he does tend to over pursue, he's gone.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep that precedent up for Gibbs too. I've seen Gibbs run people over. Yeah. So don't sell Gibbs short.
Look, we have 2 really good finesse runners. I don't think the Vikings have a finesse runner, but between Swift and Gibbs, we probably have the 2 of the best finesse runners with breakaway speed and home running ability in the league. And Micah Parsons isn't affecting either of them. And Monty, dude, I've seen Monty get hit from when he was a Bear, get hit by him and just shrug him off. Monty can shrug almost anyone off.
Yep. Okay. Nicholas Fuentes, is Dan Skipper on the team? Yes, he is a part of the practice squad. I predicted that was going to happen as soon as he was let go. Ken heard me say it right away that night when we were talking about it, that he's going to either end up on the practice squad or sign back. I said, because that's what we've done every time we let him go. And just like Tom Kennedy, all 7 years that he's been with the Lions, even when he had to be active in a season and cut later because somebody got healthy due to injury, guess what? Right after we cut him and he clears waivers, he comes back to the practice squad, the camp cockroach that does not die.
You got to love those guys, man. The Bears don't have any of that. The Bears have none of that. No one on the practice squad this year was on it last year. The one guy or 2 guys, Austin Reed and Wheeler, both got cut and weren't re-signed. So I love that you guys do that. And Skipper, dude, Skipper's like a fan favorite across the entire league, man.
I'll address this real easy, Steve, for you. Jordan Addison's out 3 games. Jay Jetta's dealing with a hamstring strain, and Naylor's out for weeks. We don't know when he's coming back. He had a major injury, and there's been no timetable on his return. So the reason he's there is that gives them a vet presence to lead a whole bunch of guys 24 and under that are young that they don't have right now, just in case Jay Jetta can't go. And even if Jay Jetta can go, wouldn't you rather have Thielen as a 2 than an unproven rookie or a second-year guy?
Well, yeah, and he's still serviceable. He's still serviceable. I mean, he reminds me of, remember back to Bears lore, Tom Waddle, fan favorite, slow white guy who just catch every third down. He was automatic. He had hands like super glue. That's Thielen.
I know B hated this, that we got rid of him. But at the same time, when we drafted Tesla, I said, you watch. If this guy shows anything in the preseason, he'll be the 3 before the end of the preseason.
That's why I didn't like this trade. You can show all the promise in the world in a preseason game, but when it comes to an NFL game, come on, dude. This is why I didn't like this trade, because, dude, that's veteran presence. Even if Tesla gets the number 3 spot, you still have a veteran receiver out there that can, if something happens to one of your starters, he can come in there and play immediately. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry.
But
that's a bad trade.
We still got Leaf and we still got Amon-Ra that are vets now.
Yeah, but I mean,
like, surprised if they put Leaf at 3rd.
With Tesla and his many nicknames, one being Vanillatron, which I think is the worst kiss of death you could ever give the guy. Because the last Tron was Mapletron, who looked great during the preseason.
It was
not as a Lion. Not as a Lion. We're talking about a Lion.
But look at the connections though. Just don't. That's why I hate Vanillatron for him, because the guy had a great camp. Well, guess what? So did Mapletron in Chicago, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to light the world on fire." And look what happened. I agree with B. Like, don't put too much into a young guy's early camp success.
I like what the teammates called him. They call him coleslaw, because if you leave him out, he's white and dangerous.
There you go. That's better. Much better than Vanillatron.
Yeah.
The only reason why I like Vanillatron is because of the similarities in size and everything. But at the same time, it was a fan that named him that. It wasn't himself. Chase Claypool named himself Mapletron. There's a big difference.
I mean, but you know what though? Like that's a funny thing, I guess, about Tesla. You could say, but look, he's built like Megatron was, but he had a great preseason like Mapletron did. I guess. I mean, that's why I hate that. No, just get away from it. Coleslaw is much better.
I like coleslaw.
I get it, Motown. I know that you were the one that coined it. John Doe. What's up, my extended family?
What's up, John?
Those names are so cringe, LOL.
You're right.
Jim Jackson.
Coleslaw's good.
There you go. There she goes. And I know Rob loves that song too, because he says it makes him think he's at a strip club.
So this is the last weekend without NFL football, guys.
Yeah,
college
the
is
last
coming
weekend
up. College
I don't have a fantasy show on Saturday
this weekend.
I don't do college much, which is weird living where I live. But you know what though? It's messing everyone up, because I mean, look at, not just because it's a big trade. It is a big trade of a marquee player from a marquee market, but it's the fact that Green Bay, who never does stuff like this and will send make any big time significant trade, actually made a big time significant trade. I mean, that's why everyone's kind of like, wait a minute, because Green Bay doesn't do this.
Oh, Vanillatron.
Yeah, Green Bay. This is outside of Green Bay's realm.
So the last 2 years,
it'll be interesting to see how it develops over the course of the season and next season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think the trade will tell itself by the end of next season by who Dallas gets with that pick. Because if they don't bust out like they usually do and pick the wrong guy, and they pick the right guy for a change, this year, you know who they should have picked in the first round, and they let him go, and that guy's on the Chargers right now, is Omarion Hampton. The guy they picked in the first round did not fit the hole they needed. Omarion Hampton, I'm sorry, he's going to be one of the best running backs out of this draft class. It's going to be him and probably Ashton Genty. And I'm not even trying to blow smoke here. The only reason why I won't say Ashton Genty will be the best is because of how many miles he had on him last year. He ran the ball a lot.
Yeah, it showed up in Boise State yesterday because they got their ass kicked by Florida, South Florida. They could not run the ball. They could not run the ball at all.
You know what's funny is guys with Genty, you know that's a great argument, JB. But when they talk about Saquon, all the 4,000-yard thing, and he was used so much last year. But when it comes to the rookie, it's like, oh, he didn't run the ball at all last year. He's a rookie. He ran the ball a ton last year. And speaking of the guy who doesn't like Genty.
Yeah, I heard you dumping on Boise State. Wanted to call in.
Yeah.
What a freaking fraud of a college football program.
I mean, I just it was a good game up until dude threw that pass, South Florida. They snuck him in there, and when they were going to punt, and he threw that pass and got the touchdown. I was like, "Damn, Boise State, really?"
They actually got Reggie White in free agency. They did not trade for him, so there's a huge difference there. They've never pulled a swing like this.
Nope. Well, it's been like 30, 40 years. They did pull one back like in the 70s or 80s, and it blew up in their face. And then they never did it again. And that's like, so, I mean, it's been a long time. And a lot of guys do, though, make that mistake, Nicholas, with the Reggie White thing. I saw it a lot yesterday. This is the biggest thing since, we traded for Reggie White. You didn't trade for the Minister of Defense. You signed him as a free agent.
Yeah, he finished his rookie contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, and you picked him up as a free agent.
It's on the same level as the Herschel Walker trade.
Well, JB, BStrilla, you guys ready for some Micah Parsons action week 1 or what?
Yep.
Bring him on.
Yeah, but Dorn, the Favre trade was nothing even close to this. I mean, in hindsight, after his career, Favre ended up being a Hall of Famer. But when the Packers traded for the Atlanta Falcons' backup quarterback, no one in the league went, "Oh my God, we're winning the division this year because of it." So the Favre trade was not even close at the time it was made.
Broski has been talking with me now for 2 seasons now, Broski?
Yeah, this is the second season. Yes.
Yeah. So, he's been around a minute.
Yeah. Besides Ken up there,
he ran into me on
fans, and I don't like the Bears.
Coach Dan's Lions Talk Live through that when he first ran into me, and I posted a link to my channel, and he subbed right away, and all of a sudden he met up with all the Huddle Sports guys.
Yep. Do you want to know, JB, an interesting breakthrough that just happened with me and Dan at Lions Talk Live?
What's that?
After being banned for almost a year, Lions fans actually went to him and said, "We want Broski back," and he let me back as of the beginning of the week.
Nice.
Congratulations.
What the hell not? Dude,
Yeah, man.
it'd be between you and Ken. I mean, the two Bear fans that I know, man, you guys speak the real stuff. You don't try. I mean, you can trash talk a little bit, but I mean, most of the time it's factual based. It's not.
Oh, he loves the Bears. He just loves to crash on them when they suck.
Oh, I'm brutally honest in my takes with the Bears. Like I always say, nobody can talk trash on the Bears more than me.
That's true. That's true.
BStrilla,
I'm a little more optimistic than Broski is some days.
I'll give you that.
What the hell did the Vikings do by signing Carson Wentz? Because Sam Howell showed nothing, absolutely nothing this preseason that he was going to be able to back up J.J. McCarthy. So they shipped him back to the team that saw him play twice a year while he was in that second year as a rookie, as a starter.
I think this is more. I think the signing's more attributed to the fact that they're really confident in J.J. McCarthy, because you're signing a Wentz. Come on.
Well, it's a veteran presence thing. It's the whole reason why the Bears kept Case Keenum on the roster.
Yep.
The only reason Case Keenum's there because Bajan's the better quarterback. But the only reason Case is there is the same reason why Wentz is in Minnesota, to be a veteran guy in the quarterback room to help mentor young quarterbacks. I mean, that's the whole reason he's there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I'm more hypocritical of my Steelers than anything. Hey, I hear you,
That's
Robbie.
true.
It's just like when we do have something to be critical about the Lions, D and I are critical about it. We're two of the few that do it. If we think that there's something major wrong, we say it. Now, what I think is the major thing we did wrong, we don't have a fourth edge on the active roster yet.
Well,
technically,
that's going to happen probably.
We have one, but
he hasn't signed yet.
He's
right.
Well, no, not
like
that one. We're talking about we did get one during when we picked up 2 guys. We picked
Right.
up a defensive tackle and a defensive end. So we got 4 technically, but I don't know how they're going to use that 4th guy. They should have gotten Nate Lynn. I'm not understanding this whole situation, but you know what? I'm not the GM, so I'm not going to say shit.
Yeah, you saw Tyrus Wheat. He's apparently not gluten free.
Critical of the Lions, I just became an alcoholic. A Sunday alcoholic.
Hey,
Love you, Fred.
How many games are? My God, this division this year, man, dude. These division games are the beer sales should go through the roof for division games this year.
Oh yeah, you know what? Here's the other thing. I'm going to say this now. As somebody said, there has never been a division winner that went 3-3. Evidently, they forgot the Seahawks the first time they went to the Super Bowl as a wild card team. They were 3-3 in their division.
Do you think? I mean, last year you guys ran the division. The Bears and the Packers were 1-5. What and what 4-2 there for the Vikings?
Right.
What are the I don't know. Does anyone run the division this year and go undefeated in the division?
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I think the best record in this division will be 4-2. I think that's the absolute best that it can happen. I think we all can end up, and I think literally we could go 3-3 and everybody wins their home games.
It's going to be tight again at the top. It's going to be 11-5 is, 12-5 will win your division. 11-6 get you into playoffs. I don't know if it's going to win your division though. And 10-7, don't forget about it, dude.
I mean,
no playoffs, but you ain't winning division.
So, Broski and Ken, what do you think about the drama in New England with Mike Vrabel calling people rats? What he was talking about, and I'm going to address it before anybody else because I watched the presser. He was mad because somebody in the training room let out about how bad the receiver was hurt already, about his shoulder injury. He leaked it before he even did a presser about it. And when the guy said, well, what's it going to be like to be without this guy for the season? He goes, well, evidently I got some rats in here.
Yeah, and eventually it's going to cost somebody their job as well.
Hey, you know who else has some rats? Green Bay. Because remember that text about a week ago? Micah freaking Parsons. And we find out yesterday that the Parsons trade was completed last week between the 2 teams, and the holdup, the announcing was Green Bay and Parsons' agent to do their contract thing. There was a rat in that process too. So while Green Bay is getting it at the same time, they're doing the same thing. Mike Vrabel. Who the frick is the rat? I don't know why anyone would have a problem with the coach saying something like that. And you know what? I don't care what if the coach calls players the anything. They're coaches, man. They're not there to make them feel nice. They're there to make these guys better and to push them. And I don't care. I mean, if he's a little toxic that way, great. Football's like that. So whatever. Non-story about Vrabel.
Here's a great take here by Fred. There is no way anyone in this division goes undefeated. I think the only team that could be capable of that this season is the Eagles, and their division is very weak outside of the Commanders. And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I am very interested in the Eagles' depth at their defensive line position too. They're going to have some issues.
Right.
They're going to have some issues too.
They had 2 of their old guys just decided it was time to be done this year, right? Brandon Graham and the interior guy, right? The older one.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that they're depending on second-year corners.
Yep.
To bat, I mean, the defensive line will have a lot to say about that. That's why I'm saying that their defensive line depth is something that I'm going to be looking to see what happens with them.
Yeah, but put up
what in their division?
Go well, maybe in a division, yeah. Because look at his comment before that. Like you say that, and then you say that, like, okay.
Okay, go back. I'm going to tell you right now. I think it was a great trade technically for both teams. You guys needed to improve your pass rush. Dallas needed to improve their rush defense. And it helps both teams immediately with their 2 biggest needs that they did not address through the free agency and the draft. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Because until we see it on the field, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, all four of these teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Any one of these four teams could miss the playoffs, and I'm saying they could miss the playoffs with a winning record.
Right. Because 9-8 doesn't guarantee a playoff bid anymore.
No.
Everybody in this division, I feel this division will have all the playoff teams in it. I do. Yeah, Brent.
That would be a first.
Didn't Fletcher Cox also do it? Yeah, we have no idea if it is a good trade just yet. Absolutely. The one thing you have to look at it is in his career, Kenny Clark has been one of your best run defenders.
Run stoppers, yep.
And the one thing Parsons does struggle with is run defense. He has a 35.5% success rate versus the run.
And, the follow. Do the Cowboys really whiff on many first rounders?
They're a pretty good draft team.
Jordan Lewis, Mozzie Smith, Jordan Lewis, and Taco Charlton. All first rounders they drafted.
How long ago was that?
All within the last 8 years.
Okay.
And Kenny Clark is a beast. Yes, sir.
But in the presser, and I watched Jerry Jones presser.
And
oh my God.
That's where I'm at. It made things more interesting in the North. 100% Ralph Williams.
Yep.
Yeah, and he said with the first round picks, he said he never know. They can make a deal this year.
JB,
what?
Can you put Steve Van Ness in the comments? His comment up. It's like two of his comments ago. He's talking about Broski and Ken and Woody.
Oh yeah, we're like the Road Warriors.
I put it up. You guys
you did? Okay.
It was a while ago. Yeah, it was about the Road Warriors, where you guys are like the 6-man tag team.
Shout out Steve.
Yep, getting to the QB is good, but so is stopping the run. And what's the one thing the Lions have done better than almost every team in the division the last 2 years? Not just 1 year, it was 2 years. We ran the ball, and very well.
And look, if you can establish the run, now you can't bring the pressure like they want. Now you're doing pass that play action, and now you are effective passing the ball, and they are going to get deep shots. So yes, Parsons makes you have to have a running game. If you don't have a running game, you're screwed. The problem for the Packers is the other three teams in this division all have good running games. The Lions having the best of all. And
the Packers have a good running game with Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lynch, and company, too. I'm not saying anything against them.
No,
And more important to that, the Lions can stop the run.
Right.
I tell you what, though, this definitely puts the onus on Jordan Love to show that he's worth that contract now.
Yep. I'm hoping that he can put together two halves of good football, because we have not seen that out of Jordan Love yet.
No.
You've seen her either been at the middle or at the front, but at the back end it goes bad. I need to see him do it for the Packers all year.
Jordan Love is the modern day Andy Dalton.
Oh,
go look at their numbers. Go look through their numbers too, man. They're eerily similar.
Ooh.
And right now, he's got the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, and a few others out there. One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you gotta love it. Hey, and Aaron Rodgers still has as many NFC championship rings as Rex Grossman. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. As I always say, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Thank you to Ken the Bear fan for popping in. BStrilla, thank you for being my co-host, as always, on Fridays. And we are out. But don't forget, check out his one ass cheek and three toes. That's the sound it's over.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.